So let's get into Tyreek Hill first and foremost before we get into any of the owners meeting stuff and all that other. But let's, because I've addressed this, but it just, and look, I get the media side of it. Most of the media really has no insight. Some of the media might have a little bit of insight, but they don't have maybe the story. And then some of them, they just got to go with it because since they don't know what's going on, they got to cover their ass. And they're not like me that I'll just tell you, boom, look, this is not going to happen. And I don't entertain it, right? So I get why media, and they have to play the clickbait game too. If you're a Dolphins exclusive writer, that's all you talk about. That's all you write about. Well, you got to use this as a tool to tease you. And let's be honest, okay? A lot of you want to be lied to. Okay? You don't really want to hear the truth. The truth is no fun. Okay? You'd rather be strung along and told, oh, well, maybe the Tyreek Hill trade and this and that. And so I've told you from the get-go there will be no trade. Okay? And you guys have to understand all of this. Okay, you got to let it go. Look, I understand Tyreek Hill is not a smart individual. In fact, he's rather dumb. I mean, just look at his life. You know what I mean? The guy's popping a kid with a different woman every couple of months. So this is not a very smart dude. Okay, this is an incredibly dumb dude that was gifted by the Lord with just great talent, and he's mishandled that too. Okay, on top of all of that, he's mishandled that over the. Okay. And so now comes out, go ahead and show the tweet, Sean. Jason from Over the Cap, he's asked about who's the most likely player to be traded. And he puts Tyreek, and then Tyreek puts up the peace sign again, and all that. And so it triggers this whole thing. And, that's good, Sean. We're good with that already. And so you guys have to understand this, okay? Tyreek Hill has no value. None. Teams are going to call you. Oh, hey, you looking to get rid of him? Yeah, I know. He's been a real pain in the ass. So what are you going to do on your end? Try to talk it down. Oh, no, he's great. He's fantastic. No, he's a pain in the ass. He's an immature punk that constantly gets in trouble, that doesn't know how to behave like a normal human being off the field, constantly doing stupid shit. So nobody's going to offer you anything. Did you watch the trades that were made this offseason? I don't know. Would you like to go over some of those trades, Sean, and find out so people see that they weren't trading the world for some players that had no baggage? This guy's got baggage and a major salary. Nobody wants that. And if they're going to deal with it, they'll tell you, yeah, we'll give you a 5th or 6th rounder. So is Joseph or any of you out there that want to keep asking about Tyreek and trade him and all that, do you understand that nobody's giving you a high pick for a guy that can get arrested at any moment now? At any moment, he can be arrested because he's constantly doing stupid shit. And if he's not happy, like he wasn't happy even in Kansas City when they were winning because he wasn't getting paid, and now he's not happy here even when he's getting paid. He's got the Jimmy Butler disease. Who the fuck wants that? And who the hell is going to pay you anything for this clown? No one. No one. So I'm not exactly sure what reality some of you people live in. Okay. Do you remember what DK Metcalf was traded for? At all, Sean? Do you remember? Just go look. Go look at the deals.
I was on Debo. Debo got a 5th round.
Does he? I'm sorry. Did his kid light the house on fire? Did he attack an old man at a pier? Did he break an IG's leg? Did he go? Is he doing 60 miles an hour on game day at the stadium? I'm just wondering. Does he get women pregnant every couple months, different women? Does he file for a divorce and then blames it on somebody else? Does he quit on the team? I'm wondering, does Debo have any of that going on for him? I don't get an answer at all, Sean. That's a no. Oh, I'm sorry. And he went for a 5th rounder. Like, how stupid are some of you people out there? Really stupid. Because you fall for all this shit. And dude, I get it if you're a beat writer. I get you people are dumb out there. So I can write articles about it. Maybe they should trade Tyreek. Let me write my opinion. I'm a columnist. They should trade Tyreek, even though I'm not dealing with reality. Oh, little podcaster out there doing his YouTube show. They should trade Tyreek. Yeah, but you don't think about reality, do you? Everybody's got an opinion, and they don't actually have the facts. And when you throw the facts out there, it throws cold water on everything. Yes, sir.
The DK Metcalf was a 2nd and a 7th for Metcalf and a 6th.
And they get back something, right? They get back a pick.
They get Metcalf and a 6th for a 2nd and a 7th.
Right.
The totality of the deal.
The 6th and the 7th are a swap. You got it for a 2nd rounder. And then you had to give him a big contract. And he has no baggage whatsoever. You're not getting anything for Tyreek. Nobody's giving you a goddamn thing for Tyreek. A 6-pack of Schaefer, a 5th, a 6th, a 7th rounder, whatever. If he doesn't get arrested in the next year and he plays whatever, it'll go up to a 4th or something. So they're screwed, as I told you. What had to happen is what I told you all out there. But most of you that are now, the funny part is the Josephs of the world didn't want to. Joseph wanted to give Tyreek that contract last year. Joseph is the guy that wants to keep Tyreek happy after 2 1,700-yard seasons. Orlando Alzugaray is the one that said, don't give him any more money. The time has come to part ways. I know it's difficult after 1,700-yard seasons. So there's too many of you out there that you want to be lied to. There's too many of you out there that refuse to look at the facts. Nobody wants this clown. Nobody wants this fool. Nobody wants this idiot. It's all of you demanding a trade. It's him saying, whatever, I want out. Have you seen anybody on the other side say, oh, we want Tyreek? Has that ever happened? Have you seen any reports that somebody wants him? Nobody wants him. Nobody wants him. And nobody, even if you had to force it, nobody's going to give you anything. And the Dolphins know that. And so they're stuck like Chuck with him. But writers, columnists, podcasters, radio shows, most of them have no insight on what's really going on behind the scenes. Most of them are just going for clickbait because that's what their editors, that's what their program directors want, that's what their producers lead them to, because that's what you guys want. That's it. You don't want the plain old truth that we try to give you all the time here on the show. To tell you, hey, bro, don't listen to any of that shit. They're not ever going to trade for Taylor, and they're not trading for Cook. But no, you could go ahead and, read Joe Shad's article and Feronis and Dave Hyde and all the writers talk about Dalvin Cook in the news. That's their job. I'm just going to tell you there'll be no Dalvin Cook. And then that's it. And then they can all talk about Wilkins and, oh, my God, you got to have him back. And, and you go listen to a radio show and they say, no, he's the heart and soul of the team. And no, he's gone. So it's going to happen. It's just the way it is. But I get the clickbait world. I just don't play that game. I'd rather just say it outright, tell you what's going to happen, and 99% of the time I'm going to be right. Am I going to be wrong? Yeah, dude, I'm going to get it wrong. Look, the Tyreek Hill one. They didn't want to pay him. By the way, they always have, Sean, don't they always say that I'm tied to Chris Greer? So if Chris Greer tells me they're not paying Tyreek, how come they paid Tyreek then? Oh, it must have been Stephen Ross that wanted to pay him because if Chris Greer, supposedly he tells me everything, right? Like, oh, no, you're Chris Greer's cheerleader or whatever. And again, I like what he's done overall. Where they have screwed up is the coach. Unfortunately, I hate to say it. That's where it's really hurt because the talent's way better than that guy's produced. But what am I supposed to do? But I mean, it's a great. I just thought about that about a week or two ago, and I go, man, I should mention that for the hell of it, because I do defend the guy, but it's like, okay, so if he tells me they're not, then why did they? Well, because I talked to a whole bunch of people in that building, and they weren't going to pay him, and then all of a sudden, shit changed. I don't know what changed, but they made a mistake there. And they should have never guaranteed him the money, and you would have been out of Tyreek. But you all have to stop. He can't go anywhere. And then if you trade him, the cap hit you take and the dead cap space, and you see how they've been this offseason where they had. Can you imagine, Sean, if they had even more dead cap money, how much less they would be able to acquire? They haven't even gone out there and spent real big money. The Daniels kid is the biggest free agent they signed. And that's not a lot of money. And you guys want them to have less money in the offseason. It's just because, if you trade Tyreek, it accelerates all that money. And so you will have less money. You will have dead space. Again, let's leave the facts out. I'm the writer. Let me leave the facts out. I'm the columnist. Let me leave the facts out. I'm the radio host. Let me leave the facts out. I'm the podcaster or YouTuber. Let me leave the facts out. The same dude that's complaining that the Dolphins aren't really spending big money this offseason wants to also trade Tyreek so they can have even less money. You'll be signing players out of the UFL.
Actually, I think you'd be renting the players out of UFL week to week.
Yeah, basically. You'll be pulling a Brian Flores first-year makeover. Hey, here's 5 new guys. Meet the other guys. And they're meeting them in the huddle for the first time. That kind of shit. Let's just leave the facts out. Let's just avoid all the facts. Everything that's really going on, right? Because, of course, people are lined up to want Tyreek. It's the funniest shit. It's the funniest shit in the world. It really is. I have to laugh at how naive some of you are, how ignorant some of you are, how dumb some of you are, how some of you lack common sense. Like, you really can't put simple math together. Look at the disaster he is. Look at the disaster the Dolphins are in right now. Look at the hot seat they're in right now. Where does this tell you that this is actually something that's possible or smart to do for them? They're stuck. Even if they wanted to do it, it would put them at an even bigger disadvantage. They have to deal with this. And so do you.